Oh, just another playthrough of Skyrim 12 years later. But why? Why do we come back again and again? Maybe it's the story. Maybe it's the gameplay. Maybe it's the visuals. Or maybe it's me. The story's pretty simple. The dragons everybody thought were gone are now being raised from the dead by the World Eater, Alduin, who's also a dragon. But then there's you, the hero, the soul sucker of the dragons, the Dragonborn. And there's our quest. We as the hero must put the dragons back to rest, therefore saving Skyrim. But that's not the story of the game for the player. The story is what happens along the way, with the atmosphere of everywhere you go being just a little off. There's always an explanation around the corner if you go up to one of the NPCs or read a book or a journal nearby. Skyrim has so many minor side quests, but each of them have their own aspect that's unique about them. Most games nowadays just copy and paste the same fetch item or kill boss quest formula for the entire game, which can work, as long as the characters that give you the quest and give you the rewards from the quest are different every time, which is what Skyrim does better than any game I've ever played before. I've been playing the game on and off for 10 years, but every time I come back, I find something that I didn't find my last playthrough. And that's the story for a lot of players, I bet. Knowing that if you spend just a little more time exploring your next playthrough, you'll find something you never knew was there. You could start a questline like the Companions or the Thieves Guild, and play through that whole story, and by the time you finish it, you forget that you're even a Dragonborn, and that there's a dragon trying to eat the world. And that's okay, because you don't have to rush anything in this game. It doesn't lock anything behind any walls. The game leaves it up to you to make your own story. As soon as you make your way out of the intro in Helgen, it just throws you into the world, and you're free. Now, I don't have as many good things to say about the gameplay of Skyrim, being that it's 12 years old, and the mechanics feel a little dated. But Skyrim has some of the best accessibility of any game out there when it comes to easily downloading a mod straight from the menu instead of going through third-party sites. So you can install a mod that would spice up the combat if need be. But the combat isn't what makes up the majority of Skyrim's gameplay. It's the exploring of all the dungeons and abandoned houses, and there's a common theme when it comes to most of them. Most of the places you explore for the first time in Skyrim are run down and seem abandoned, and it's your job as the player to find out why. In a way, it's like you're playing two games. The past version of Skyrim first, and then once you figure out whatever is plaguing wherever you are, you're back in the present with a whole new appreciation for where you are. Skyrim makes sure that there's a backstory to every location so that you as the player can connect with the world instead of just being there for the moment. So do I think that Skyrim is as good of a game as it gets when it comes to feeling like you're somewhere else when you're playing it? Yes, for the moment at least. Until there's another game that takes the time to make as big of a game as Skyrim, but keeps the fine details right throughout the game, I think this is it. I wasn't even 10 years old when Skyrim came out and my brother introduced me to the game. And now even that I'm an adult, I still find the same novelty that I did playing it way back then. I went and played through the entire game again to make this video, and the game still managed to draw me in and have me sitting there in wonder, just like it did when I was 10 years old. And this might be my last playthrough for the year, but I'm sure I'll be back next year to do it all again. And if you're watching this video and you feel inspired to start another Skyrim playthrough, go for it. It never disappoints. As always, have a good one.